Hey friends, welcome back to the garden. You know, after so many seasons of container gardening, I've had some big wins and also a few facepalm mistakes. Today I want to share with you the flowers that I honestly regret planting. Not because they're ugly, but because they turned out to be way more trouble than joy. Stick around because this list might just save you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration in your own garden. And hey, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join our little gardening family at VTC Garden Tips. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next videos we have coming up. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's talk about the flowers that taught me some tough but valuable lessons. The very first flower on my list is petunias. Oh yes, those cheerful bright blooms that seem to spill over every garden basket in the spring. They look irresistible at the nursery. I mean, who doesn't want a waterfall of color right outside their door? But here's the catch. In containers, petunias are divas. They need constant deadheading, non-stop feeding, and if you miss just a little bit of care, they sulk. And when they sulk, they look messy, leggy, and honestly a little sad. Now don't get me wrong, petunias can be stunning in hanging baskets or window boxes, but for a busy gardener like me, they became a high-maintenance relationship I just couldn't keep up with. If you really want something similar but easier, try calibrachoa, also called million bells. They give you that same overflowing cascade of blooms but with less fuss. Next on my list is impatiens. At first glance, they seem like the perfect flower for containers. They thrive in the shade, they bloom non-stop, and they come in so many cheerful colors. For a beginner gardener, they look like a dream come true. But here's what I didn't realize early on. Impatiens are extremely vulnerable to downy mildew. Once this disease shows up, it spreads like wildfire, and suddenly your lush, vibrant planter turns into a sad, empty pot. I can't tell you how many times I tried to save them, trimming, spraying, babying them, but once downy mildew sets in, it's game over. Honestly, it broke my heart the first time it happened because the display had been so beautiful just weeks before. These days, I avoid the heartbreak by choosing alternatives. New Guinea impatiens are a stronger variety that resists disease better, or you can try begonias, tough, colorful, and much less trouble. The third flower on my regret list is geraniums, or more precisely, pelargoniums. You see them everywhere in garden centers. Bright red, pink, or white clusters that seem to scream summer. They look so cheerful, so classic, that I thought they were a must-have. And to be fair, geraniums are tough. They tolerate heat, they last a long time, and they can really brighten up a patio. But here's the truth. They also come with some serious drawbacks. In containers, they need constant grooming. If you don't deadhead regularly, those old blooms turn brown and ugly, dragging down the whole look of your planter. And then there's the smell. Some people love that strong, almost medicinal scent of the leaves. But for me, let's just say it wasn't the most refreshing aroma every time I brushed past them. These days, instead of filling my containers with geraniums, I lean toward plants that stay attractive with less fuss. Angelonia, also called summer snapdragon, is one of my new favorites. Same sunny vibe, way less maintenance. Number 4 on my list is fuchsia. Oh, these are the flowers that look like tiny ballerinas hanging gracefully from their stems. They're so unique, so elegant that I was convinced I needed them in my containers. The problem? Fuchsias are drama queens. They don't handle heat well, they wilt if you miss a single watering, and they can drop their buds at the slightest bit of stress. I swear some days it felt like they were punishing me just for leaving the house too long. And while they thrive in cooler, shaded climates, my summer containers just couldn't give them what they wanted. Instead of enjoying their beauty, I spent most of my time worrying if they would survive another hot afternoon. If you love that hanging, delicate look, try Gerania, also called wishbone flower. They're much more forgiving, love partial shade, and bloom happily without all the drama. Number 5 on my regret list is dahlias. Now don't get me wrong, dahlias are breathtaking. Their blooms are like fireworks, huge, bold, and absolutely show-stopping. Every time I see them in magazines or garden shows, I fall in love all over again. But here's the reality check. In containers, dahlias are high maintenance. They need large pots, constant feeding, and they attract every pest under the sun, from aphids to spider mites. At times, it felt like I was running a full-time hotel for bugs. And if you're in a hot climate, dahlias can quickly look stressed, their foliage turning crispy while you're still waiting for those big, beautiful blooms to open. It's a lot of patience, a lot of work, for just a short window of glory. These days I reserve dahlias for my garden beds where they can stretch out. In containers, I've had much better success with zinnias. They give you bold, colorful flowers all summer long, with a fraction of the fuss. Number 6 on my list is Lobelia. Oh, I still remember the first time I saw them, those little blue and purple flowers spilling over the edge of a basket. They looked like a living waterfall, so delicate and dreamy. But here's the problem. Lobelia looks amazing in spring, but as soon as the summer heat kicks in, they collapse. They turn brown, scraggly, and no matter how much I watered or trimmed, they just refused to bounce back. It felt like watching a fairy tale turn into a sad story overnight. Unless you live in a cooler climate, Lobelia will break your heart. They simply don't have the stamina to handle hot summers in containers. These days, when I want that trailing effect, I reach for bacopa instead. They give you the same soft cascade of blooms, but they handle the heat and keep performing all season long. Number 7 on my regret list is sweet alyssum. At first, I was completely charmed by them. Those tiny clusters of white, pink, or purple blooms look like soft clouds, and they have the sweetest honey-like fragrance. Honestly, they can make any container look dreamy. But here's what I learned the hard way. Sweet alyssum grows fast, and then it dies back just as fast. In the heat of summer, instead of staying lush and fragrant, it turns into a patch of dried, crispy stems. And in containers, that decline happens even quicker. It's like they go from magical carpet of blooms to brown tumbleweed almost overnight. Of course, you can try shearing them back and hoping for a second flush, but the results are hit or miss, and honestly, I didn't find it worth the effort in containers. If you want something low-growing and fragrant that lasts longer, try planting creeping thyme or even Lobelia hybrid varieties bred for heat tolerance. They'll keep your pots looking fresh without the sudden heartbreak. Last but not least, number 8 on my regret list is marigolds. Now, this one might surprise some of you because marigolds are often recommended as the ultimate container flower. They're cheerful, they're tough, and they even help with pest control. But here's the reality I ran into. In containers, marigolds can get sticky, smelly, and honestly, a little overwhelming. Their scent, which is supposed to deter pests, wasn't exactly pleasant for me when sitting close on the patio. And once the blues faded, those dried, crunchy heads made my pots look messy unless I kept up with constant deadheading. And I'll admit, marigolds and I just never clicked. They did their job, but I didn't enjoy them the way I hoped. If you're looking for something equally tough and cheerful, try nasturtiums. They're vibrant, edible, and much more fun to grow in containers. Plus, they attract pollinators while still helping to repel some pests. And there you have it, friends. 8 flowers that looked like a dream but turned into more trouble than joy in my container garden. Gardening really is full of surprises, isn't it? Some plants steal our hearts, while others teach us lessons the hard way. But here's the thing I've learned over the years. Every mistake is still an experience that makes us better gardeners. It helps us discover what truly brings joy and what fits our unique gardens. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which flowers have you regretted planting in containers? Share your stories in the comments. I promise, we've all been there, and your experience could save someone else a headache. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, share it with a fellow gardener, and of course, subscribe to VTC Garden Tips for more honest garden talk, tips, and inspiration. Together, we're building a community that celebrates not just the blooms, but also the lessons along the way. Until next time, take care, enjoy your garden, and I'll see you in the next video.